Hi everybody, we're back for round 5 of the Classic League. Looks like we actually have two different requests here, probably because I took so long to set up my recording. So we're going to go ahead and get going. There'll be a little bit of background noise for a little while. My wife is using the printer. It shouldn't be too distracting.
Sorry.
Nah, it's okay. They forgive you.
I know. I told you that before you started recording.
Yeah, she said it's not going to disrupt your Magic experience too much. This is our opponent's magical experience. This is our opponent's deck list. We're playing against the Chris one. We actually did an intentional draw before this round since both of us are secured for top 8. So I don't know how my deck's going to fare against this Dredge build. We're going to go ahead and give it a shot. So I guess we'll find the deck first. There we go. All right. So we're definitely going to go ahead and maybe he wants to draw first. I don't think he does. I think he wants to play first too because they're using Bazaar in this format. It's actually not so bad of a hand. We have a Pod, we have a Heap Doll, Skull Clamps. This is pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and keep this. No mulligan.
Sorry, is that annoying?
Our opponent uses Serum Powder. He gets one of his Icarids is gone, and his Chain of Vapor is gone, which is worth noticing. So let's see. Does that mean he mulled? No, he did not mull. So he's decided to keep this hand. So we're going to go ahead and drop the Ancient Tomb first. I could actually drop a Heap Doll very quickly and then be prepared to exile something. Or I could do that on my turn, my next turn, just so he isn't aware that I have the ability to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and play Ancient Tomb, Soul Ring, and then get Birthing Pod down as soon as possible. Pass the turn. That's the printer. We have an older model at this point.
It's fast.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
No one cares about our printer.
No, they don't care about our printer, you're right. Okay, Hex Parasite. I believe Hex Parasite actually does something, kind of. It deals with Golgari Grave Troll. Maybe that's it here. Yeah, I guess that's not very exciting. So we have the option. I suppose I should load up our deck too. So we have the option to look for a 2-drop, and that would be Mirror Retriever or Phyrexian Revoker. I think I might want to use the Heap Doll to remove something from his graveyard and do that with a Hex Parasite. So let's go ahead and I think what I want to do is cast Heap Doll.
Oh no.
What's going on?
We're out of toner.
We're out of toner.
Why don't they give you tax breaks if you're a student for like printer and paper and toner?
I don't know. We might have to go to Target later. This is not an advertisement for Target. Target, if you're listening, I'd love to advertise for you. I'm going to go ahead and play this Skull Clamp. I'm not going to equip it. I'm going to pop the Hex Parasite.
I think Target's overpriced and pretentious. I think Walmart is actually the way to advertise.
Yep. And we're going to go ahead and find... I'm not sure that Mirror Retriever is very good right now. I guess it works well with Skull Clamp, but it seems kind of slow. Kind of want to find the Revoker and use it to turn off a Lotus Petal, maybe. I think that's the best thing to use Revoker with. Let's just see. Oh, it doesn't want to show the deck right now. It's thinking too hard. Whoops, should have gone to desktop. There we go. So Revoker could name Serum Powder, which isn't very interesting. Lotus Petal could prevent regeneration and Grave Troll, which is uninteresting. Could do Fate Stitcher, actually, which might be better than Lotus Petal. Let's go ahead and do that. That seems fun. Wait, I chose... Why is it search your library for chooses Abbey Gargoyles? What I don't it's still giving me the option to choose, so I'm not sure why that's happening. Our opponent says solid choice. Whoops. Magic Online. Okay, so that's exciting. We'll go ahead and pass the turn to him. Yep. If he gets a single dredger in the graveyard, we're gonna exile it. But he'll probably get more than one, then we'll be in some trouble. Okay, so he does have more than one. I am going to exile the Golgari Grave Troll right now. He'll still be able to dredge with the salvage, but that's much slower. I mean, I guess I could have saved that until... maybe I could have hit the Sun Titan in case he wants to... Oh, there's another Grave Troll. That's unfortunate. Okay. So, he's got stuff in the graveyard at this point. It's going to be... Yeah. So now I'm thinking what I should have done is found a Retriever instead of Revoker, especially not a Revoker naming Abbey Gargoyles, in order to get Heap Dell back. And then I could just keep exiling things. Obviously can't exile everything, but I could have exiled that bridge from below. This turn is going to be difficult now, because he's going to probably... Doesn't have a Cabal Ritual in the graveyard. But if he can Dread Return, I'll be in super big trouble. Doesn't look like he'll be able to, though, so I'm going to be able to get rid of that bridge from below. Won't be the worst thing for us to draw. That's probably up there. Okay, so I think I need to put a guy in the graveyard. The question is, do I want to Skull Clamp that Revoker, or do I want to search for a Junk Diver? If I search for a Junk Diver, that gives me the ability to do what I should have done last turn, this next turn, which isn't all that strong. I actually think I might want to draw cards here, because I'm not sure I have very much going on. So... could pitch that Junk Diver, and then next turn pitch something else. Or I could pitch it for the Junk Diver and then attach Skull Clamp to that. That actually seems way better. Whoop. So we get to exile those, which is awesome. And we are going to pop out our graveyard as well. And we are going to return the Heap Dell, I think. I think that's smart. Seems smart. Okay, drawing Elshnorn there is pretty bad. If we can land this Elshnorn through a 3-drop, let's see. What are my options here? If we can land Elshnorn, we might be in good shape. I'm trying to think about how to do that. Now, at this point, I would need Summoner's Egg, which means I need a 3-drop, which means I need a 2-drop to get Junk Diver back. So I can play Ancient Tomb, keep the Heap Dell out. That's pretty bad. But I think I might need the Heap Dell out to... Let's see. I don't need his exiled stuff. I need his graveyard up to deal with the Dread Return. That might be the thing to do. Huh. So let's go ahead and play this Ancient Tomb. I don't want to take that much damage. Yeah, I have to cast this. So if another creature is going to come out, I'm going to exile his Dread Return right away. If it doesn't, I might be able to absorb 2 damage with this. Yeah, he can go ahead and do this. Maybe the way to do it would be to exile the Sun Titan when he tries to resurrect it. So let's look at his yard. There's also the Zealot. And he's got an Icarid now. Okay. So let's see here. He can also Cabal Therapy now. I don't think that does anything for him right at the moment. Having 3 creatures out allows him to try and cast the Dread Return, but then I can activate Heap Doll in response. Okay, let's let him get the guy out. He's got 17 cards left in his deck. Oh wow, okay, there's another one. Now 11 cards left in his deck. Let's stretch this a little bit. There's a Fate Stitcher, another Cabal Therapy. So he could still realistically... Curious to see what he'll do here. I'm going to let him make the first move. And if he tries to use Dread Return, I'm going to activate Heap Doll. Okay, so here's the question. Can I actually live from getting beaten down from these guys? That's going to be hard. He can't unearth the Fate Stitcher. He can play an Icarid next turn. My hand has a lot of uncastable cards. So if I keep the Heap Doll around and go to 5, then my Ancient Tombs are pretty bad, and so is Birthing Pod. If I'm able to get a Summoner's Egg into play, I still have to have a die, which is pretty hard. Okay, so I think here I go ahead and block the Bloodghast, and then I remove the Dread Return, which I believe there's only one of. Yes. Other one's probably in his hand. I think that's right. Very well might not be. So maybe we'll just draw a Summoner's Egg and win. That would be pretty cool. That is probably the worst card we could have drawn. So I think we lose here. I don't really want to cast 2 more Skull Clamps. That seems worse than not casting anything at all. Yeah. So I think misplay could have cost me that game looking for Revoker instead of... Yeah, this is where we're going to take a big hit. So I'm going to go ahead and let him kill me. It's hard to beat Dredge game 1, but he's not going to get in the blood. There he goes. So I don't feel too bad about that, but I think I could have had some more options had I kept the Junk Diver in play and then found a way to put Elshnorn in play. I mean, it's unlikely that I would have drawn Elshnorn, but that would have been definitely a victory condition. Okay, so Elshnorn is the obvious top of the curve here. Thorn of Amethyst doesn't really do much. Lodestone Golem isn't very interesting except as a beater, so I think I take him out actually. He's going to be bringing in a lot of artifact removal. He could bring in Ley Lines of his own or a Chain of Vapor. Might even bring in Wismare, not sure about that. I think that's the package we bring in. We might even bring in Tyrant, since he runs so few lands, but I think I'd rather just keep the Elshnorn as the ultimate win con, and that should actually take care of him unless he has Chain of Vapor in hand. What do I take out here? Revoker isn't super exciting against him. Also, Acidic Slime is pretty mediocre, so I can go ahead and remove Acidic Slime, I think. It does kill his land, the Bazaar, which is incredibly important, but it's a little too slow for that, I think. Zealous Conscripts also is pretty mediocre against him. It can take a land or something and use it. So I'm going to go ahead and board that out as well. Let's see, there's Frost Titan, Fleshbag, which are both, they could be relevant. Could bring in Lodestones instead of something else. That doesn't seem all that great. It's a 5-3, which is the good part about it. It ends the game quickly. I think I win by getting to Elish Norn, though. Okay, so this hand is pretty slow as far as I can tell, but it has a Skull Clamp and a Heap Doll. So I can go Ancient Tomb on the play, naming probably Lotus Petal again. If he has like an Ancient Grudge, I could just lose. Let's see here. I think I go turn 1 Revoker. And then that sets up for next turn. I don't think he would Ancient Grudge Revoker. He wouldn't be able to do that turn 1. It would be Nature's Claiming stuff. That would name Lotus Petal, I guess. Yeah, that could be right. And then next turn I can Heap Doll Skull Clamp. And then maybe Frogmite too, depending on what I draw. So he mulled, which is, you know, of course, always good. We're going to go ahead and cast turn 1 Revoker and hope that this makes his life hard. Probably won't. This time we won't name Abbey Gargoyles or whatever we named last time. That was pretty funny, though. Okay, so he has Bazaar. Well, would I have used that last turn? Almost certainly. Okay, so what to do here? I can activate the Grim Monolith and basically use it as a Dark Ritual for 1. It's more like a Cabal Ritual. That would allow me to play Heap Doll, Skull Clamp, and Frogmite, I guess. Is that exciting enough? I'd actually probably rather play Skull Clamp and just equip it and see what we draw. That doesn't seem very good either, though. Doesn't seem very good at all, actually. Could just play the Grim Monolith and not do anything else, so that seems like we're really asking to lose. So I could also try to just win very quickly with Precursor Golem then next turn. Not sure if I can race it, and if he has a Nature's Claim, he kills a lot of our guys. That's actually not the end of the world. Maybe that's what we attempt here. And then next turn we can set up for Skull Clamping something. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn here. So let's see what he puts in there. Okay, so he's got at least 1 Dredger. Okay, and a bridge. So if one of our guys dies, it removes his bridge, which is good. He's probably going to play with the bridges pretty conservatively. What that would allow him to do then... Ooh, there's an Icarid too. Yeah, and there's a Dread Return. Wow. A lot of options from his graveyard, actually. So he can even Dread Return an Ingotuber to kill an artifact at some point. Okay, so we've got a dude in play, just 1, fortunately. See, Icarid, Bloodghast. Just trying to go over everything to make sure I'm not going to screw anything up. Just thinking, probably we'll need to remove the Dread Return. Or I guess I can, maybe that's what I'm going to end up removing. With Heap Doll, I mean. Again, he doesn't have green out yet. So if I keep, let's see, his deck has how many green sources? Undiscovered Paradise, City of Brass. He's got 7 besides Lotus Petal. And he could have boarded some of them out, but I doubt he would do that since he's probably bringing in more artifact removal. Okay, so now he's immediately going to Dread Return. Probably the Sun Titan. Yeah, that's not good. So I guess I should have let off with Heap Doll there. Exploded from the gates a little bit faster than I expected. And now he can Ancient Grudge immediately, which is almost certainly a loss for me. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Okay, so can we come back? I guess if I draw, like, Workshop, I can play Precursor Golem. suppose that's an interesting option, but doesn't seem like it does very much right now. Let's see. So he's attacking for 16, and that's what I'm at. That's pretty bad. It seems like doing nothing isn't really an option. And then just blocking. It's like using the Ancient Tomb. I can, I guess, exile an Icarid. That seems pretty poor. Huh. That would also get rid of the bridge, but again, that's pretty bad. So not playing the Heap Doll preemptively costs me this game probably, which is, I mean, it's something worth knowing. Also the option of putting Heap Doll and Skull Clamp into play. And then casting Salvage Titan off of that. That removes his bridge, but then leaves me at 14 with all these guys out. I can at least block them, but then I don't have any board presence. So that also seems pretty poor. Yeah, the worst part about that is that I can't even equip Skull Clamp to anything. I mean, I think that's the only play I have. I have to do this. So when he attacks, he gets, what, a Narcomoeba back or a Stinkweed Imp? Suppose I also could have mulled until I found Hate. And that, maybe that would have been a better play. So maybe I just kept the wrong hand. I mean, I'm obviously in a terrible position here, and I would be shocked if I lived through the turn. If he has any artifact removal, which he can dig for, right? Probably dig for a way to cast it. Especially since, well, he doesn't need to. He's got Undiscovered Paradise in his hand. Then, if Salvage Titan just, oh, okay, so he's got a Dread return. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be game. Because then he can just return the Zealot. Yeah. Well, this is our first loss of the tournament, though we intentionally drew beforehand. So we'll end this video now, and thanks everybody for watching. Or actually, maybe I'll let him go through the motions so everybody gets to see what happens. Well, he actually didn't. So he elected not to kill me there? No, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. Oh, there we go. Dark Blast. Okay, so thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back for round 6 soon.